Hello guys, what is machine learning and what are the types of machine learning? Basically, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that basically teaches the computer with the data. So if something is teaching the computer with the data, that is called as machine learning. Okay. So there are three types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So we're gonna see these three very clearly. So first type is supervised learning. So what is supervised learning? It basically learns from the labeled data. So what is label data first of all? Label data has input and output data. Okay, if the data has input and output, that is called as label data. So for example, email spam detection is basically uh, this project or something is basically made by label data. So data has input and output, right? For example, there are 2000 data. Okay, there are 2000 data. In this 2000 mails are spam and another 1000 mails are normal mails. So there are 2000 data. In that 2000 data, 1000 are spam mails and 1000 are normal mails. So this data is actually known as labeled data. Okay, so this is known as labeled data. So uh, we actually given the output as well, right? 1000 mails spam. Okay, so basically what does that mean is, uh, for example, if you are giving a new mail, if you are giving a new mail and asking the computer whether it is normal mail or spam mail, the computer will say it is a normal mail. How it is saying? By learning the 2000 data, right? So this is what label data means, giving the input as well as giving the output, right? And there are some models which comes under supervised learning: linear regression, logistic regression, and decision trees. So these are the uh, models which comes under supervised learning, right? And what is the second type? So this is the second type, unsupervised learning. Okay, so this basically learns from unlabeled data. Yeah, as you all guessed, it is. What is unlabeled data? Yeah, labeled data is basically has labeled data as basically input and output. And what does unlabeled data mean? It doesn't have input and output, right? So it only has input or output. It only has input. Okay. So for example, customer customer segmentation, news topic grouping, and these examples are comes under unsupervised learning. At the same time, K means clustering, DB scan, PCA, autoencoders, and these are all comes under unsupervised learning. Okay, so this is also very important type of machine learning. If you are preparing for some placement or something, if you are preparing for placements, if you are preparing for data science newly, then unsupervised learning is also very important, because major of the companies or major of the banks, everything use customer segmentation. Okay, yeah. And what is reinforcement learning? So it is basically learns by interacting with the environment and receiving rewards. So basically uh, what it is trial and error method. Okay, so basically uh, it is basically a trial and error method. Okay, we don't want to feed the model data. It learns by itself. Okay, so for example, self-driving cars. So this is the best example for reinforcement learning. As I said, trial and error method. I have seen some video recently, like a Renault car company, the big car company, I don't know, I mean, I forget the company of the car. They are testing the self-driving car, and the CEO itself standing in front of the car to test that, and suddenly the car actually hit the CEO. So this is what reinforcement learning is. As I said, trial and error. Okay, it doesn't have data or something to learn. And yeah, as I said, Q learning, DQN, and these are the uh, models which are used for reinforcement learning. But you don't want to study this if you are looking for placement or something, because like these models are used in big industry kind of things, like who are making cars, who are making uh, like big kind of, I mean, robo or something. Okay, or games. So you don't want to study these if you are preparing for some companies or something, some IT companies or something, but because they don't use this. And yeah, so I have given some models which comes under supervised and unsupervised and reinforcement. You see, linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, random forest. SVM is also a model. Support vector, support vector machine. This is known as SVM. And KNN is K nearest neighbor. Okay. So neural networks. So these are all deep learning. Okay. This comes under deep learning. This comes under deep learning. Okay. So this is also very important. Deep learning is also very important because computer vision, uh, everything, chat GPT, everything comes under neural networks because yeah, neural networks basically works like human. And this is very important things in machine learning like supervised learning. So these are the common algorithms which is comes under supervised learning. Okay, so linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, random forest, SVM, KNN, and neural networks. So we are going to see these models in the upcoming videos with the live, I mean, with the real-time examples as well, and I'll do the projects as well. Okay. So the next thing is unsupervised learning. So what is unsupervised learning? As I said, it doesn't want labeled data, right? Yeah. So yeah, as I said, real life examples, market segmentation. Yeah. For example, if you're taking a bank company which has some data of the customers, they only have the input data like age of the person, like the income of the person, uh, whether he is male or female, and his address, and so these are the labels they have basically, right? And they don't have the output. I mean, whether he or she is going to buy a loan, whether he or she is going to buy a credit card. So the machine is gonna uh, learn the input alone, and it is going to. I mean, it is predicting. It is going to predict the output, like whether he or she is going to buy a loan, whether he or she is going to buy a credit card, something like that, right? So these market segmentations are comes under unsupervised learning. Okay, yeah. So this is also very important algorithms which is used for unsupervised learning. And in this particularly K means clustering. It's very important for segmentations. Okay. And yeah, so and the third thing is reinforcement learning. As we already see that learns by interacting with the environment, and real life examples are self-driving cars, for example Tesla, game playing bots, chess yet, and robot navigation. So these are the important algorithms like q learning is the one major companies like Tesla, Google are using. And yeah, so this is what machine learning is, and these are the types of machine learning.